going to win this year.
Yes, I'm positive we're going to win. We're going to retain Ashfield and you're the bit of Prime Minister next year.
Yeah, that's the plan.
This has to be one of the most saddest PM promo scenes yet. A short interview between Rishi Sunak and Lee Anderson that sums up the true lack of any thought or care about how to run the country and make a difference to the average voter. Not only that, but the intro you've just witnessed there shows Rishi and Lee totally delusional and in a state of denial that they're going to win the election.
It's Lee Anderson, Member of Parliament for Ashfield, and I'm joined by our brilliant PM, Mr Sunak, who's come to my old school today, and we're going to look at some headlines.
Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think.
Hang on, watch that again.
Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think.
The production values and delivery of this makes the video feel like it was made back in the 90s. I mean, what's up with that rock music in the background?
Let's have a look.
People axing the national anthem from a graduation ceremony. I mean, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh dear me, whatever next? Axing the national anthem? For crying out loud, here's a platform for them to address the real issues, and they've decided to make the first question about being patriotic. The more they avoid addressing the cost of living crisis, the more they look like an empty vessel, devoid of any integrity.
One thing that you and I both agree on, we should be so proud of our country.
We should
shout about it all.
Hang on, Rishi said the one thing we do agree upon. Does that mean he doesn't agree with anything else that Lee Anderson says?
I always say this, Prime Minister, this country of ours is a gift to the world.
It gave my family a new home.
Exactly.
And that's why, for me, doing this job is such a privilege.
A privilege? This guy is fleecing the nation. What a sham.
And for that, I will always work my socks off. I mean, really, you like this. We had a referendum. You and I both voted for Brexit because we think it's the right thing for our country. Yeah. This is the guy that, A, didn't believe in it, but he also then tried to reverse it.
So there's two issues here, one about migrants and the other about Brexit. And the sad fact is, if we'd have stayed in the European Union, we would have had more control over the boats and more help. Again, this isn't as important as the cost of living, the NHS, the schools falling down, education in general, AI, climate change, and so much more.
What do we know now? When it comes to tackling the boats, what does he want to do? He wants a cosy deal with the EU.
Total sad sham.
Which would see us taking even more migrants here. Right, well, that's why we're going to do everything we can. We're going to get this thing done. Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think. Yeah, well, let's have a look, see what we think.
Click here to have a coffee with Sunak.